Hey everyone, welcome back to Pawpaw's Workshop. Well, we've come to another Veterans Day, and to me this is a very special time of the year. And we need our veterans more now than I think we have in a long time. We live in a crazy time, and this world is not getting any safer. So I sincerely want to thank all of our veterans, past and present, for their service and for their dedication to be able to help to keep this country safe. And today I want to create a sign using the VCarve Pro that actually thanks our veterans. And I want to be able to show you several different techniques to be able to make this simple sign and say thank you to all of our veterans. Now, to make this sign, I just want to have fun tonight and being able to do this. So I'm going to come up and create a new file. And I think what I want to do is, of course, single-sided. And I'm going to make this 12 inches on the x-axis, 12 inches on the y-axis. The depth's really not a major concern because I'm not going to be cutting all the way through. So I'll leave this at the 1/2 inch thickness. I am going to be using the inches, and we'll have the Z0 position on the surface, and I am going to set this for the center point because we're going to be making quite a few different circles, and everything else is fine. So I'll click OK. And to begin with, I think I'm going to start off with a circle, and I'm going to just click in the center and pull this out. Oh, let's say, I think we're going to make this a radius of 5 inches. So I'm going to come right over here, type in the 5 inches. We'll hit apply, and there we have my circle. Now I think I'm going to create another circle at this point, and let's see, let's just come over and do the same thing, and let's pull this one out. Let's just make this one 4 inches. That sounds like a good idea. So we'll make that 4.0, and now I have the two circles. Well, don't need that. All right, so now I have the two circles, and we're going to put in here, thank you, and honoring all who have served in this section. So how are we going to put the text on a curve? Let's start off with the thank you. So I'm going to come over here and click on the text bar, and I am going to leave this on the caps lock. We'll put that on, and I'm going to type in the word thank you. I'm going to leave this at a Times Roman. If I make that bold, let's try making it bold, have a little fun. The height of the letters, we know that this space is 1 inch. So I think I am going to change this for the text height and make it at a 1/2 inch. And we'll just hit close for right now. So that is the text that I want to be able to put in to this circle. And I think that will be a good size. I think that'll look good. So now I want to set up another circle in here. And this is really going to be a guideline. And I'm going to put this at the 4.5. So that's right in between. And we'll apply, close that out. So there's my line that we're going to use. So let's come down to this icon right here. And we're going to click on the text. We're going to click on, hold down the Shift key, and select that. And you can see what's happening now. We want to be able to put this on the curve. So now it's on the curve, but you can see that it's backwards. Text on the other side. There we go. Now I would like to be able to have this center, so I can grab this right here and slide that over, and that looks pretty good. Let's take a look at that. Now the next thing I want to do, this spacing is really close, and I can actually increase that spacing. You can see how that looks? Now it's off center again because of that spacing, so I can grab this little arm and slide that back around. And that looks real good. And I like the spacing now between the letters. This looks a little bit tight, so if I don't want to use the spacing here, I can actually close this and come over here to this icon, and then I can come right in here and change the individual letters. So if I hold right between these two letters, hold the shift key down, and then click on the mouse, I can spread these out just ever so slightly and make it a little bit better spacing. So I think that looks good. So at this point now, I want to be able to type in honoring all who served. So let's go back to our text menu and let's type that out. We'll keep everything else the same, so we'll close that. And we go to the text. On the curve, we'll click on our curve and our line, and you can see how that worked. And then all we need to do is be able to slide it down. I'm gonna get my little green bar here, and I can slide that right down to there. And you notice we got some changes to be able to make on this. First thing I want to do is put it on the curve. So that puts it right where we need to have it. And now I'm going to increase the spacing again because those letters are a little bit tight, and I can just spread these out. And that actually looks pretty good. We'll slide that back over. I want to put stars around here. So let's make a star. Come over here. We'll click on this. I want a 5-point star, and I think we're going to go with a 1/2 inch. The inner radius percentage at 38 looks good, so I'm going to do that. And let's close this out. We'll take this star now, and we'll slide it right up here. Right about there, I think would be good. Now let's come down to the circular array tool, and let's take a look at this. I think I want to do the 12 stars. That worked out real well. We're going to go the 360 degrees. I want it to be oriented around the center, so let's put this at 0 also. And there's my 12 stars going all the way around. I think that looks real good. So now I want to put the word veterans in here. We'll slide this around to right about there. I think that'll be good. I don't need this line anymore, which is my guideline, so we'll delete that. That looks really sharp now. I want to be able to put a block in here and type in the word veteran. So I'm going to take this star, hold down the shift key, take this star and cut those. But before I put in the rectangle through here, I want to use the offset tool. I want to grab the outside, and there's already a double line there. So I'm going to delete that. So let's see that again. See that line? We'll delete that. I don't know how that got in there. Let's take a look at that. There we go. That's my single line that I'm looking for. So let's close this. And I want to do an offset. And I want to be able to go outward. I think what I want to do is this offset out about 0.06 of an inch. So 0.06 will go outward. We're keeping everything else, so we'll offset that. And let's see what that looks like. So that's just a nice, small, thin line. In fact, if we highlight that one more time, let's go back to the offset tool. And what happens if I go with 0.07 we're going to delete the original, offset it, and there we go. I think that looks better, the 0.07. So we'll close that. And here we go. Now let's do the same thing with this. I'm going to collect this, and let's do the offset tool again. This time let's go inward. 0.14. There we go. I like that. So that's good. We got those two circles in there. That looks real good. All right, now then, the next thing I want to do is put in a rectangle. So let's come back up here to our rectangle tool, and I'm just going to drag in a rectangle. I don't know how big I want it yet. So let's just see what that looks like. And right now that's 11.2. I think we could probably have 11 inches being of nice size. And then as far as the height, that's 1.6 right now. How about we round this down to 1.5? And we'll apply that. And I think that looks good. Okay, I have my rectangle in here. I think that looks good, but we have these extra lines. So let's come over to our scissors tool and let's cut those away. Okay, that looks good. So now we have a nice clean box. And I think what I want to do is close this out. And I think I want to be able to put another line in here. We'll use the offset tool again for that. And this time I want to go on the inner side. And I want to come in, let's come in about 1/8 of an inch. So that would be 0.125. We're going to keep the original, so we'll do the offset. Oops, we got to select a vector. There we go. And now we create the offset, and I think that looks good. So now we have that in there. Now I want to type in the word veterans. So we'll close this, go back over here to our text menu, and we're going to type the word veterans. Now we need to change the size because we know that this was 1.5 inches. We also changed this down. So probably about a 1-inch letter would be a good size. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. And let's see. Let's grab it right here and we'll slide it up into there. That's probably a little too big. So what would 0.9 look like? And let's center that. And that actually looks pretty good. Now, one of the things you see, these letters are very, very close together. You see there, those are actually touching. So let's close this. And I'm going to come back to this icon right here, come right in between these letters. And then to be able to spread them apart, you hold the Shift key down, and then you can spread these out. That looks better. I still don't like the end, so let's do these one more time. Let's take a look. I'm going to spread that another one. I think that looks real good now. So for here, let's go back to our center menu. We're just going to hit center, and that completes it. So thank you to all of our veterans for honoring all of those who have served. So this is a real easy sign to be able to set up and to be able to do. And we just really thought of this as we were going through this. So it was a lot of fun to be able to do. Now there's some changes that we could make. These stars now are actually touching this circle. I would probably want to change that and put them a little bit closer in. Now I deleted those stars, and I'm going to take this star and just slide it down a little bit more. Let's say right about there ought to be good. And now let's use the array tool again, the circular array. And we're going to keep our 12. We're going to make this at 0. And we'll hit copy. There they are. That looks a lot better. Of course, we need to get rid of this one. Hold down the shift key. We'll get rid of this star and we'll cut it. And now that looks real good. I like that a lot better. So you can see how easy it is to be able to create a sign. And if you want to create the tool paths at this point, let's go over and look at some tool paths. Let's just highlight everything and see what it's going to look like if I highlight everything on here. And if we do a VCarve, and we're going to start at the surface, we're not going to have a flat depth. We'll use the 90-degree V-bit. I think I'm going to use a clearance bit, and we'll select an end mill. Let's just select an 1/8 inch end mill. So we'll select that. And I'm not going to do anything else. So we have all of these selected now. So let's just go down and calculate. And there we go. That looks really, really good. I'm going to reset this. I'm going to preview all of the tool paths. That looks absolutely fantastic. Well, there you have a real simple sign that we could use today to be able to honor our veterans. And I hope I was able to show you a few tips and tricks along the way to be able to make these signs so easy to be able to do using the VCarve. Now, this sign could have been done many different ways. The clearance toolpath that I used probably wasn't necessary for the simple VCarve that I did. But this toolpath could be set up so many different ways. You could change that and set it up to be able to do the carving as I showed. You could also set up toolpaths to be able to do it where you could do the epoxy inlays and so many more different ways. It just all depends on the final look that you want. But most importantly, today being Veterans Day, I want to honor and recognize all of our veterans, both past and present, and say thank you. I really appreciate your service. I was very proud to be in the military myself, and I know what it takes to be able to serve and the sacrifices that you make. So until next time, I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next video. So for now, bye-bye. See you real soon in the next video.